Good morning, day 119. It is a Friday, and it is a cloudy day, but it's beautiful. It's warmer, so I can wear a light jacket today and be very comfortable. It's beautiful when it's cloudy. The colors just get so saturated and take on a different hue. Anyway, so I am on Proverbs 10 this morning. I think I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet today. What came to mind, and this might be a little funny, is they could take Proverbs, or at least the next few chapters, and turn it into one of those quizzes that are so popular now, or have been popular for a long time. Like, are you foolish or are you wise? And then even rate yourself on a scale. And then so you would know kind of what you need to work on in some areas specifically. I could totally see that. I wonder if somebody's done that before. But chapter 10 was sort of like, here's what the wise do, here's what the foolish do, here's what the consequences are. Good consequences, bad consequences. So it's just line by line, like different characteristics, from wealth to lying to talking too much. That was one that caught my attention. And there were a couple of that caught my attention, probably because they called me out. Y'all have learned, part of why I do this every morning, I am a verbal processor. And the way my brain also works is that I like to explore lots of possibilities. My favorite type of book to read, one of my favorite types of books to read when I was younger, was the If Then, where you would choose the ending book. I forget what they were called, but you'd read and it would have multiple different stories depending on which way you chose. Well, being who I am, I would read all of the different versions. And that's kind of how my brain works. I will see an opportunity or a possibility, and I love to talk about it. And here, one thing that I've learned in my journey, my wisdom journey, hopefully, is that not everybody's brain works the way mine does. And I also, for whatever reason, have some influence. People listen to what I say. I don't necessarily know why, but they do. I've been that way my whole life. And sometimes when I play around with ideas and possibilities, and that's really all I'm doing, I'm kind of having fun. I'm just like, ooh, imagine this, imagine that. And if we did that, like, people try to make it happen, or they think like, oh, she's serious. We need to figure this out. And part of that is my own doing, because if they get interested in one of the possibilities I talk about, then I'm like, ooh, let's take that further. Ooh, yeah, maybe we should do it. And sometimes I have resisted my own good judgment, as we were talking about yesterday, and follow through on an idea that I may have just instigated or started just out of fun, not because I really wanted to do it. But then if somebody else gets excited about it and I see that they want to, because I also want other people to be happy, I might go along with something that I really didn't want to do. It has gotten me. That is foolishness right there. So that definitely, when I read that, I think it was verse 26 maybe. Anyway, don't quote me on that. You can read chapter 10 and you'll see, you can see for yourself what resonates with you. And that was definitely I have learned to know who my audience is, or at least try to. I have certain people that know how my brain works. Their brain might work similarly. And I can even say, hey, I just want to play around with some ideas here. Like, are you up for this? And I can just explore. I can't just do that with anybody. I have to be really careful. Or I could get both of us in trouble, or all of us in trouble. Do you have, like, if you're a visionary and a creative thinker, this might be something, and you're resonating with this, and you're a verbal processor as well. This might have happened to you too. You might have gotten yourself into some situations that you were like, wait a minute, I wasn't really serious. And then, before you almost go along, and then at some point it's like, oh man, I'm in too deep. There's no turning around now. Oh gosh. Anyway, so I'm learning, and that is a sign of wisdom that I'm learning. Like I've changed a lot in that area. I think much more before I speak. I have identified a few people that I can process and sort of have this kind of fun with. And then if it is something really worth exploring, then maybe I'll pursue it, but I need to have some safe people. And that's actually what coaches do. I have a couple of coaches that I can really process through with, and they can, through their helping me bring out my own wisdom, can help me identify ideas that, let's just table that. That's going to be distracting. Is that really going to help you with your overall goals and help me really get some clarity? And maybe there's even a nugget of something in one of those ideas that does, like we can pull a thread out of it. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's a little cloudy here in the Louisville area. Another one of the verses that just got me personally, because as a peacemaker type and going along to get along, sometimes if I'm operating on my default, hey, good morning, in my default mode, peace is often found, or like maybe a false or a fake peace is found in stillness. Now, real peace can be found in stillness, but if you're doing it to avoid being disturbed, but it's something that needs to be done, but you're just kind of like, la, 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 la. I'll just go take a nap, or I'll get busy doing these other little jobs and not do the thing that I need to do. That's going to lead to trouble as well. So that's another area personally that I was growing in, or am growing in, while I'm learning to zoom out, look at the bigger picture, and see what brings true peace, which sometimes is having difficult conversations, getting my butt up and getting some hard work done, so that then I can have, when I am still and resting, that I can truly rest, because I know that I've done a job that I needed to do, and I've participated, I've engaged at a level that I need to do, and it's not stillness from avoiding or putting my head in the sand. So those are a couple of the verses that I pulled out. So I would invite you to also look at chapters 10, and I think the next few chapters are going to be this way, where it is almost like a poll. Like you can go through, or like a quiz, you could go through each one and kind of rate yourself and go, ooh, and if you find yourself looking at one going, ugh, yeah, that might be your sign, where you like, ooh, I don't want that to be true, but I think it's true. I might be more on the foolish side in this area. Then when you know those things about yourself and you're willing to be honest, then you can do something about it. You can change in a new direction. You can think about it. You can talk to some trusted people in your life, mentors, advisors, pastors, coaches, psychologists, whatever, they need to be trustworthy. Don't go looking for validation or correction from your fellow fools. That's what fools do. So have some people in your life that you know will speak truth in love. Not a frenemy who's going to be really happy to jump on the bandwagon, maybe against you with a smile. So this is also just, I think Proverbs is going to be really interesting to go through, and that it really could be like a diagnostic tool if you would want to use it that way. And we can like rate ourselves together. Like, what areas do you need to work on? And can you see, if you've already identified a few and you've already been working on things like I have, then you can actually see the progress that you're making as well. And celebrate that, because celebrating that and giving yourself credit for that hard work actually helps motivate you to keep moving in the right direction in other areas, and maybe even makes you willing and have your eyes open and your heart open for other areas that need work, and that you will be open to correction and discipline. So that is just, I'm going to keep it short and sweet this morning, but I really encourage you to open your Bible and look at chapter 10 and begin to sort of maybe look at it through the lens of maybe a little poll or a quiz that you could rate yourself on a scale, and where you fall between wisdom and foolishness. All right, my friends, have a great day wherever you are. And if you're going to rise, you might as well shine. Bye.